Hey, how you doing, folks? And welcome to the Perth Concert Hall here in Scotland for our first BNBF from the Judges' Table report of 2019. As you can see behind us, the crew are packing up. We've just finished off our unrivaled Scottish Championships, and as usual, an amazing show, and we have a new overall champion. Our overall champ is our lightweight, Stephen McDonald, who went on to scoop the Best Wheels trophy as well and taking the overall in unanimous fashion. I'm David Kay. I was on the judging panel. I'm here with head judge Kerry Napier, Andrew Chappell, Tom Poyner and James Melville joining us from this edition. Okay, Kerry, I'm going to go straight to you. Let's discuss that overall. I think, Steve, clear winner on the cards and an unrivaled champ on the day.
Definitely. Stephen was fantastic. Poignant as well, because I remember seeing him as a young boy, as a teenager, and it's great to see these people progress. And now he's a fully grown man that looks awesome, to be fair. Just absolutely awesome. I was blown away by how good he looked. I had seen him maybe 4 weeks ago, and his condition was startling, and even then. But to see it on stage, I was really excited and delighted for him.
And you know, it's also quite fitting that we'll have our current BNBF lightweight British champion, James Melville, kind of see that. Lit a fire under your belly if you needed one?
Oh, that was unbelievable watching, and definitely set the tone, I think, for the conditioning today. And presentation, I thought, was fantastic. Not that he's any weaknesses at all, but he really showcases his physique beautifully. So I'm going to have to push my game this season, I think. So
yeah, cheers for that. I mean, all in agreement. Worthy winner and a great way to start the season. Okay, so we started off our show with our Masters over 40s and 50s. There was only one Masters over 40, that was Desmond Downey. Quick word on Desmond, looking forward to the Britain.
Great arms, great arms, huge. Great forearms as well. So came out there and did a really nice routine as well. I loved it. Really interesting. Showed off those great strengths again, which were the arms, the triceps. I'd like to see him a little bit more conditioned and maybe work on that presentation a little bit for the finals. Work on that TAM, because when he steps on in that lineup at the Britain, those guys are going to be shredded. So a little bit more condition, but otherwise, yeah, strong showing for him.
Yeah, good stuff. Okay, so then he jumped in with our Masters over 50s. We had 4 guys. The class was taken by Andy Richmond, who in my opinion was pretty much a complete package on the day. Tom, I'll go to you on that. How did you feel Andy performed?
Yeah, I agree. He was hard. He was conditioned, full, and he came out with a cracking routine as well. Really nice sort of classical posing, I thought. So it was a really good class, but clear winner for me.
Yeah, he took it from James Blythe in second. James is quite experienced. He's not been on the stage for a while. I thought it was a good look from James today, but just not quite as conditioned as the winner. Yeah, so James, a bit of conditioning moving forward. We also had, in the over 50s, we actually had an over 60s competitor in Steve Mello and an over 70s competitor in Ronnie Cooney. Great to see these guys back.
Steve was fantastic. Yeah, over 60. He was actually a very challenging competitor in the over 50 class. So he'll be a dangerous competitor at the Britain as an over 60.
And you know what, Richard's always fun when he comes out with those routines, coming out doing Rod Stewart, if you think I'm sexy. I mean, the audience loved that. He's always a lot of fun. Yeah, they did. And those guys will receive invites to the Britain in the over 60s and over 70s respectively. Good job, guys. Okay, we went, as you said, Kerry, from the more experienced competitors to our youth, and that was our teen class, which was followed by our juniors. So we'll talk about the teens. Really well balanced class here, just 2 guys. Dalton Taylor took the win from Santiago Saldana. James, how did you see it go?
yeah, I think the conditioning was a big factor there. And Dalton was
the winner, yeah.
Dalton's condition was fantastic. I actually think, what was this? Santiago. His structure is really nice. I think there's a nice flow to his physique as well. So it was a wee bit apples and oranges. I think if Santiago comes back a little bit more conditioned for British finals, he'd be a wee bit more of a threat as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much. I think it's all in agreement. That was the way it went down. But two really good teams. It was nice to see a kind of head-to-head battle. We had three in our junior class. Again, quite hotly contested. Sergio Arsenio took the win from Andrew Murray in 2 and Calvin McLeod in 3. Sergio, by name, kind of resurrected some of the old Sergio Livio pose, the old victory pose, and I tell you what, for a wee junior he could nail it. Good set of arms, nice flowing lats. a lot better at night, I thought, guys. I don't know if you agree. Marshall, go to you on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Great posing routine. Much better at night. His legs were much more conditioned at night. I think in the morning you could have made a case of tying the top two guys in that class, but at night he came out and he shut the door, as they say, and he took the class hands down for me.
Yeah, I mean, I did actually have the class tied between Sergio and Andrew going into the night show, but
a little comment on Andrew. I mean, if he works on his posing a little bit, he could really be a threat coming into the finals, but I mean, he really needs to work on that, because he sort of posed himself out of contention a little bit sometimes, but good body parts though, still nice condition. He was dry as well.
I feel Andrew had I don't know if you agree, guys, he had a good set of legs, but he was sitting too deep in them, so it almost obscured a little bit of his detail. So just come up a little bit, Andrew, show the legs to the judges. And Calvin McLeod in 3, battled well up there, but just slightly under muscled compared to the other two guys.
Needs time to grow.
Yeah, needs time to grow. He's a junior. Okay, the future looks bright. We moved on to our Miss Athletic class. We had 6 in the class. In fact, we had 5 as one competitor moved on to Masters figure. This was won by Karen Glendingen, who took the victory from Nadja Shields and then Rachel Outram in 3. Kerry, I'll go back to you. As judges, we watched that unfold, and we needed the time to watch it unfold. Talk us through it.
We certainly did. Before the evening show started, Vicky gave a rundown of the differences between the female classes, and that's probably what separated the top 2 in this particular class. Karen, the winner, was the better example of what we're looking for in the athletic class. There's no doubt at all that the second place girl, Nadja, I mean, she's got a lot of muscle. Her legs were too unconditioned for the athletic class, and that's what gave me, Karen was going to take that class. I would actually say that Nadja would be better off in physique more so than athletic, because she doesn't actually lack taper, so it's a bit difficult, the qualifier stage, for people to know what class is best suited for them. So hopefully if they get this feedback, they might think about it and going forward to the Britain, because she has qualified for the Britain and she'll be able to step into physique if she wants to. So
yeah. Okay, cheers for that, Kerry. Pretty good round up there. I had, and again, Rachel Outram took the 3rd place spot, narrowly edging ahead of Michelle Scobie, and I just felt Rachel just had a slightly neater package today overall, and it was tight, and it could have gone overweight, but a slightly kind of better package. Okay, guys.
I think the conditioning just kind of won it, didn't it? Really, it just tipped it. Yeah.
Okay, so we went from our Miss Athletic to our Masters figure. As I said, one of our athletic competitors moved into the Masters figure. This class was won by an Austrian competitor, Sandra. I'm not even going to try and pronounce her surname, I do apologise, I'll just butcher it. But Sandra did win it. She won the class from Katie Walker in 2 and Stephanie Manning in 3. Tom, why don't you talk about that?
I thought I had it quite close between Katie and our winner, Sandra. I think probably just overall structure and shape just won it for me. Katie was really well conditioned, but yeah, I think just Sandra just had that more pleasing structure and the kind of the look for the figure class. Yeah,
a very kind of classical figure from the winner. Yeah. Mush?
And both posed very confidently as well, which showed.
Yeah.
I mean, our winner Sandra, she did some really cracking shots. She did like a front lat spread, which really showed off her strengths. She looks like she's really looked after herself down the years as well. She had fantastic skin tone. Her presentation was really, really nice, and all these little things add up towards just making a nice competitor, and that just makes her nice and toned, and actually it drew your eye towards her. Steph Manning in 3, really nice structure, but just a little bit heavy in the bottom half. I think if she can tighten up there a little bit, she'll be a threat moving forward to her place competitor.
Yeah, just a word on Steph in 3. It is the best I've seen you, Steph. I think you're vastly improved. So just keep going and kind of doing what you're doing. But overall, one of the themes here, as we always talk every year, is posing. Get the most out of your physique with the posing guys. And in this class, that was definitely evident.
Yeah. Sandra's T-walk was excellent. I mean, for a foreign competitor who maybe hadn't been as familiar with what we expect, she'd certainly done her homework, knew what she was doing, and looked very professional out there. Very impressed with her.
Yeah, and they went on to a new class. Well, we had it at the Britain last year, but Ultimate Athlete. This is the first time it's been run at a qualifier. We had 2 in it, 2 females. We had Sinead Martin taking the win from Mariana Chershin. The Ultimate Athlete, of course, is exactly that. We're testing the Ultimate Athlete in terms of their strength in a strength round, their endurance in the endurance round, and then they come to the stage and pose and show their presentation. And I think, it's really going to be it's a slow burner, but I think it's going to build, and the Ultimate Athlete's looking good. Any note on the Ultimate Athlete, guys? James?
Yeah, I thought Sinead looked brilliant, and even in comparison to last year, even when I seen her yesterday, you could see just how much muscle that she's actually put on as well, and that's a testament to just hard graft. And so interesting to see what she can do at the British finals.
Yep, and just a word, if anyone is interested in the Ultimate Athlete at the British finals, it will be an open show, so you don't have to qualify for the Ultimate Athlete at the Britain. They will do an open competition, so if you think you're good enough, get in there. In traditional Scottish fashion, we moved on before the interval with our customary taps off. Not quite as busy as last year, but as ever,
all the judges
good
kept
banter.
their tops on this year. So
I don't know what that says about us.
Last year they were all off.
Yeah.
It was Vicky's farewell.
So we had the taps off, and we got some Unrivaled Nutrition, our show sponsor, threw out some prizes for the guys. It was good fun to get everyone on stage, and a few folk I think were claiming robbery, but at the end of the day, we did have a winner and one of the young lads.
There was a couple of girls on stage and didn't understand the rules, but what can you do?
I'm just disappointed that Eugene didn't get his top off and get on stage, or our judge from America. So I mean, Eugene's a big powerlifting lad, and well, he looks like a powerlifter.
Yeah, well, it was taps on for Eugene and the rest of us. Okay, we move then to our novice class. Once again, a big novice class at the Scottish. We had 11 guys in. This class was won by Jackson Work, who took the win from Paul McCann and Kerry. You'll need to remind me who was in 3.
Well, it came down to 2.
Yeah, 2 horse.
It's very hard in the
8th place.
Number 8, Walter Selly. Thank you, Mush. He was in 3. But yeah, Kerry, talk us through then. It was a 2-horse race.
It was a 2-horse race, which is strange in the novice. You usually get a whole lot more strange physiques all thrown together in one pot. It's very hard to separate them. But these 2 stood out right from the start. I think the chap that won from Dundee, Jackson, he had the more polished routines, and once he started to pose properly, you could see that his structure was better and stuff. The other lad, Paul, he had a very classical physique. And I looked at him and I actually thought he's going to do very well as a lightweight going forward. I actually thought he had more potential as a lightweight going forward than maybe Jackson has as a middleweight or a heavyweight going forward. But that was just, these are novices. They'll all improve. They'll work on their mistakes, train some more and get going. But
can I just say, I loved Jackson's Alan Parsons sort of posing routine. It was really, really cool. It's all classy, came together. And actually, Guy Adson compared him to Francis Benfato. So that's high praise, actually, and he'll love to hear that himself.
Yes. I think that means he's got a very big head.
Well, he is the champ. James, chiming in?
I just have to agree with that. I thought that what's the guy's second called? Paul. Yeah, I thought he posed very well. I actually said to Tom after the show and stuff, and I thought that he presented, and that was part of the feedback. I think probably could push his condition again a little bit more. I think so, which will change his physique again. But he posed really well. Very impressed.
Yeah, and showed his physique to its best really in the way he posed.
Cool. Yes, in summary for that class, I thought Jackson, took the win on, like you say, Kerry, polish, bit of balance, nice posing. But it was great to see 2 novices kind of produce pretty, complete physiques, and they did well. So moving forward to the Britain, they should be quite positive.
Just a note on, I think, David Taylor, who came in 4th place. I've seen him competing for a few years now, and he'll be over the moon with that, because he's really moved up there. So well done to him for moving up to that 4th place spot.
Yeah, and we moved from the guys to the women again. We had our Miss Physique class, only 2 in it. This class was won by Sarah Greer, who took the win from Elaine Elliott in 2. Tom, why don't you start us off with the Miss Physique? How did that run down?
Yeah, I think obviously only 2 competitors, but both strong competitors. I think Sarah just won it on conditioning really. Elaine has got everything there that she needs to be competitive, but maybe just push that conditioning a little bit more, and she'll be right up there.
Yeah, I thought both ladies were I don't know if you agree, guys, I thought they were both better at night, and I thought Sarah in particular came on a lot at night and really tightened up.
She did a very good routine as well. She stood out in the routine. So.
She needs to tie her hair back. There's a point I sort of noticed, hiding her whole back every time she did those back shots, that long hair. Just tie it up or whatever you want to do, just a lot.
Yeah, and I actually thought that she needed to work on her tan a little bit as well, maybe a little bit darker, because I think actually she had a lot of condition that was hidden a wee bit under the lights, so just a wee bit darker I think would be the way to go.
Yeah, we're nitpicking here now.
We are nitpicking, but you know,
that can make a difference.
Moving forward, as ever, we kind of say, posing, presentation, tan, nail these. Because they're variables that you should be able to control.
We can only judge what we see.
Moving forward then, we went on to the first of our men's weight classes. This did produce our overall champ in Steve McDonald. This was our lightweights. So he was a victor from a very tight 2 and 3 from Joe Murphy in 2, edging out Sam Robinson in 3 and Billy Joe McKinney in 4. Now, in my opinion, the class of the day. Every one of the guys was in top condition. It's a shame someone has to come first, someone has to come fourth. But, we've discussed Steve, so, we can sum him up in one word, and that was phenomenal today. We don't need to go any further. Let's discuss 2 and 3, because that was quite tight. Kerry?
Well, it was. Well, we had a class of 4 and 3 people got invited to the Britain. I'm not usually that generous. So that was a good sign that the class was deep. 2 and 3... They were having their own battle, unfortunately for them, because Stephen was that step ahead of them. But for me, number 2 had too many tattoos, which was making it hard to see his physique, which you can't do anything about, unfortunately. But he had better balance. And, the condition wasn't much between the two of them, but his balance was better off, and he posed a little neater in most of the poses. I mean, sometimes you see some guys hit a pose and you're like, oh, I've got that guy third, he actually looks really good in that pose. But when you go through all the 8 poses, you actually come to the conclusion. And I would say that, Joe, number 2, he was a bit, just that little bit better than Sam. Was it Sam?
Sam, yeah.
And 3. And maybe another mention just for Billy, because I've seen him compete a few times as well, and that's probably the best he's been. So he was shredded, all those guys brought it.
So big credit to you guys in the lightweight class. That was really great to see. We'll move on to the middleweights then. This was won by Aaron McKenzie, who took the win from Mark Lowe, from Boran Azazi in 3 and Jamie Sands in 4. Tom, we'll go to you as our British middleweight contingent from last year. How did that go down?
Yeah, I think a really strong class again. Our winner, was it Aaron?
Aaron, yeah.
He was I think he was a standout just with conditioning, fullness, just overall muscularity. I think he was the clear winner for me.
Mark Lowe in 2.
Mark Lowe again. I think he's come from being a junior, I believe. I think, as I say, it was just conditioning. He was a big lad. He probably had the more muscle of everyone in the class, but just needs to get a little bit tighter. I think he knows that, and he's got plenty of time until the British. But particularly from the back as well, he looked very good. And then again, Boran, he had a nice thick physique, good structure. Possibly, I think if he worked on some of his pose, I think he could display his physique a little bit better. But again, really good physique. And then just a word on Jamie as well. He's competed before, I think a couple of years ago, and he looked, he's made obvious improvements, which is always good to see.
Just I think Jamie, just compared to the guys at the top, just it's not quite hard enough today, and that was kind of the undoing. Aaron, the winner in particular, I thought pulled away at night. I thought he was a lot fuller and cleaner at night. And it's a common scenario that guys get better at night. They've had a bit more food, they've dried out a bit more, they're more relaxed. But some guys really come on at night, and that can turn the tables, because we do judge the night show.
And sometimes it confuses the audience, because the majority only come to the evening show, and suddenly a guy looks great, and they haven't seen the fact that he was watery, a bit soft, flat, and prejudging, and night time he's dry as a bone, looks like granite, and you're like, and in third place. You're waiting for the booze.
And I guess that's why the one place you can judge is on the panel, and that's it.
Yes.
Moving forward then, our heavies. We had 3 heavyweights in it. This was taken by Lucas Earhart from Gary Lang and Kev McKinnon in 3. Much as a former heavyweight competitor, you can talk us through that.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Steve. I think this was a combination of Gary and Lucas. I mean, that for me, I think it was a 2-horse race. No disrespect to Kev here on that one. Gary had really nice symmetry and he was a lot sharper at night. He's had really nice tan. He's made real improvements and it was really nice to see a competitor come on that little bit. But Lucas just had maybe that little bit more size, and just like we were discussing with that middleweight class there, the heavyweight got a lot better at night. He'd worked on his tan, he'd put some better glaze on or something, but his lines and his condition was just that much cleaner, and that just made the difference and then helped him take the class. I mean, that's how I've seen it going down. I don't know about you guys.
No, I think we'd all agree with that. He really pulled away, and I did say, kind of going forward to the overall, I thought he was getting better and better in the overall. He wasn't going to touch Steve, but he made a good account for himself.
Really good rear double bicep shot. Really nice shot. Yeah,
clean.
Probably one of the best in the show. Actually, that rear double bicep.
That's what I thought, particularly from the side and the back, was where he really pulled away.
Gary looked good.
And Sorry.
I actually thought, like, whenever he hit the most muscular, he looked like he doubled in size, and a lot of it was the conditioning coming through the shoulders and chest and stuff. I think he looked fantastic at the evening show in particular.
Quick word on kind of Gary and Kev, who were 2 and 3. James.
Yeah, I thought Gary looked better at pre-judging. That's what I thought. He looked a little bit softer maybe in the evening show. That was just, maybe I'm wrong with that, but that's what I felt. And Kev looked great, but he just needed maybe a little bit more muscle, I think, to sort of hang with the other two.
Yeah, I thought the heavyweights, I actually personally thought they all looked a little better at night. I thought Lucas really pulled away. I thought Kev had tightened up a bit for the night show as well. And Gary was like a blend between both of them. He had, a neater shape, but he didn't quite have the rugged size of Lucas, perhaps, or the condition. But he was almost there. So it was. Sometimes you have to award the places, and if it's going to fall. And I think we had a winner, but beyond that, there wasn't loads in it,
I mean, Gary's in a good place. I mean, he's got the British finals coming up now. He's got that invite. He can work on getting a bit more tighter for the show, and he can maybe work on that posing just a little bit. And you never know, he might be in the middleweight class come the finals.
Exactly. Okay, then our last class of the day before the overall then was the Miss Figure, and in traditional fashion, because the judges a right headache, because our head judge here, the tabulator, a headache. This class was 12 ladies in it. Very tight. It was won by Caitlin Duquette, who took the victory from Michelle Stewart in 2, and it was Nicole Pollock, I believe, in 3. Right, Kerry? It was a tough one, but we got there in the end.
We get there in the end, and it's strange when the sheets are coming in, you're kind of like it's a bit all over the place, but actually when you add it up, it falls in the way you expected it to. I'm terrible with names. I saw the numbers have been shouting all day, so the names don't mean. Caitlin was very good. I mean, she's a top quality figure competitor. Too many movements when she's hitting her poses would be my only, downside to her. She needs to just stop doing that, because with the classes that big, it distracts you. You stop, you're looking along a long line and somebody's giving the arm waves and stuff like that before they hit a pose. I'm looking elsewhere because I'm trying to figure out who's who, what's what, where am I moving them. So in a class that size, get into your poses quicker, work on your presentation, being that little bit sharper, and it can make a lot of difference. You make a lot of difference. Today it didn't hold her back. Michelle in second, I would say she was very, very well balanced physique, good condition, good T-walk. She's got a lot of. She's going to be a challenger at the Britain as well. So.
Yeah, and then Nicole, who took 3, was a very kind of natural figure. I thought she did really well, posed well, great presentation, lovely smile to the audience. It makes a difference when places are tight.
I would even say that actually her T-walk took that in the evening over other competitors. I mean, we had one competitor, and I spoke to one of our other judges, Eugene, who was in contention for this show for that 3rd place that came out and didn't do a T-walk, so you couldn't place her. So she goes from getting 3rd or 4th place in that scorecard to a 7, and that makes a big difference to the score. So
cover all your bases, guys. Okay. We got there in the end, guys, and I think the places I was happy with when they came out, and it's nice when that happens. Okay, then. So that wrapped up the show. Like I said, we did have our overall. we had our best wheels as well, all taken by Steve McDonald. And that wrapped up the unrivalled BNBF Scottish of 2019. The next step,
Northern Ireland.
Northern Ireland, yep,
With
Belfast. James, our guest star, how are you feeling for that, James?
Yeah, I'm motivated after today, so I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to it, and hopefully there's a good turnout.
Yeah, so we'll be there in 2 weeks' time, and the BNBF Roadshow continues. Like I said, as you say, the guys are busy kind of packing up, and we're all got rumbling bellies. Other than James, we're about to get some scum food, just not you. Okay, well, thanks for tuning in, guys, and also thanks to all our sponsors that really help make the BNBF what it is and help us run. Tune in for the next one in 2 weeks' time, and we'll see you then. Okay.
Good job, Dave.
From us, yep. Cheers, guys. It's a wrap. All the best. Cheers.